Hey guys, it's Tom. Welcome back to another video here on my channel. I've created this channel to show you that investing is not only for the rich. I myself have a low income since I only work 30 hours a week to spend more time with my two daughters. Plus I have a mortgage on the house. I still manage to invest weekly and grow my portfolio and my passive income. And if I can do it, you can too. So if you can relate to my situation, feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and make sure to follow my journey to a 100k dividend portfolio. Today we're looking at all my dividends received in December. I managed to hit triple digits here for the second time ever, so I'm really pumped about that. And we also do an overall portfolio overview, so stay tuned.
Money, money, money in my pocket. Money, money, I know how to count it. Money, money, money in my...
I'd say we jump right into the dividends because that's the fun part, at least for me this. In December 25, I received 12 dividends in total, so that's quite a lot for me. First one came from Kroger. They paid me €2.88. And if we're looking at the performance, they're not doing too great over the last year. They're down 11.5%. And also over the last month, down 6.5%. If we're looking at my holding, I'm still up 30.5%. So not too bad. I own 13 shares of this company, and so far I received about €40 from them in dividends. This is a company I will sell in the future though. Due to tax reasons, I pay withholding tax for the US stocks and also my income tax here in Austria, so I get double taxed and that's just not worth it. But for now I'm keeping it. Alright, next dividend came from Visa, one of my favorite companies. They paid me €2.15, which brings my total to €5.03. Looking at the performance over the last year, they're down a little bit, 3%. But if we see the last month, they're starting to recover. They're up 4% over the last month. My holding is up 12.5% with my 6.4 shares I own at the moment. And so far I received almost €18 from them in dividends. Alright, next dividend came from UPS. They paid me €3.75, which brings my total to €8.78. And this is by far the worst performing stock in my portfolio. Over the last year they are down 28%, although they starting to recover. So at the lowest they were down 41%. So really bad year for them. If you look at the 1 month, yeah, you can see slowly starting to recover, up 2.6%. My holding is still down 35% with my 3.6 shares. And so far I received €48 in dividends. This is another one I will sell in the future, but I'm still holding on to it. Maybe they can recover into the green. We will see. After that, I received a payment from Louis Vuitton, ticker LVMH. They paid me €3.35, which brings the total to €12.13. And this is also a stock that's in the red for me. But looking at the last year's performance, they made quite the recovery and are actually already in the green. They're up 5% over the last year. So you can see really great comeback for them. Over the last month, they're up 1.6%. But looking at my holding, I'm still down 10% with this one. I own not even a full share. I own 0.8 shares and so far received €15.5 in dividends. Yeah, same with the other two positions. I'm waiting for this one to at least recover into the green and then it will get sold at some point. Next dividend came from one of the 3 monthly paying dividend ETFs I hold. This one came from the global version of the JP Morgan, the JEPG. They paid me €13.50, which brings my December total to €25.63. Looking at their yearly performance, it's not looking too good, down 9% for this one. although it's just a pure income play, there's still the factor of NAV erosion. So you don't want to stock price to always go down, because then the dividends get irrelevant. You want a stable price chart aside from the regular income. But looking at the monthly performance, they're starting to recover. And also my holding, it's not looking too bad. I'm only down 2%, and I'm really okay with that, because as I said, that's just an income play. And as long as the price stays flat, I'm fine with that. I own 140 shares of this one and received 147 euros so far. So this is a bigger payer in my portfolio. Then of course my second JP Morgan fund, the Nasdaq version, they paid me 30 euros 65. So this was my biggest dividend this month. And this brings my total to 56 euros 28. This is also the biggest position in my portfolio at the moment. Looking at the yearly performance, also not too good like the other fund, down almost 9%. But again, my holding only down 2.5%. So far I received over 200 euros from them already. The stock is also recovering at the moment, so nothing to worry about here. I own 175 shares and I will continue to increase that. Then I received a payment from Microsoft. Great company, I love it. They paid me 3 euros 16 and my total comes to 59 euros 44. Surprisingly enough, their performance lately hasn't been the best. So they're down 1.5% over the last year, and also over the last month they're in the red, down 2%. But of course I'm holding this company for longer already, and I'm up over 52% with this one. I own 5.8 shares and received exactly 40 dividends from Microsoft so far. Next small dividend came from Google, and this is my best performer in the portfolio at the moment. I'm really happy that I bought more shares before they had their run this year. They paid me 1.85 euros, which brings my total to 61 euros 29. And looking at the performance, you can see here they had a great run and I bought a lot over the year. So I caught the upside of this. They corrected a little bit over the last month, down 2%. But looking at my holding, I'm up almost 67%. So as I said, by far my best performer. And here you can see all the buys, every line I bought this company. It's of course also one of my weekly buys, but still here I bought more of Google and I'm happy that I did. I now own 14.3 shares and so far received 12.4 euros in dividends from Google. Another stock that will get sold at some point is Coca-Cola. They also paid me a dividend last month, which came to 3.88 euros, and that brought my total monthly income to 65.17 euros. Looking at the performance, nothing major happening, but that's what you expect from a dividend king, I guess. Over the last year they're down 2% and over the last month down 3%. My holding is slightly in the green. I'm up almost 6% with my 12 shares and I received 60 euros in dividends from this company in total. My third monthly payer is the Big Tech Option Income ETF from Han ETF, ticker YMAP. This is the highest yielding one in my portfolio. They have 25% dividend yield at the moment. They paid me 19.28 euros, which brought my total to 84 euros and 45. And I really have to be careful to not get too greedy with this one and only chase after the yield. Looking at the performance over the last year, they're down almost 7%, and that's definitely something to watch. As I explained before already, you don't want the stock price to go always down, because then the dividends won't matter anymore. Over the last month, they're down 3.6%. If we're looking at my holdings, I'm also down 7% with my 36 shares, and I already received 70 euros in dividends. This has been in the portfolio since October, so not too long, but I'm enjoying the monthly income from them so far. And for the final day of December, the final day of the year 2025, the Vanguard ETFs also paid. First one came from the S&P 500 tracking one, ticker VUSA. They paid me 6.11 euros in dividends, which brought my total to 90.56 euros. So we're almost at the triple digit number. Looking at the performance over the last year, they're up only 1%, and this is due to the tracking in euros, because the dollar is weaker compared to the euro at the moment, and so that comes down to the performance. The USD version performed way better over the last year, but it is what it is. Over the last month, we are even down 0.6%. My holding is up 10% at the moment, so not too shabby. I own 25 shares. I buy this one weekly, of course, and received 26 euros from them in dividends so far. The very last payment for the year came from my second Vanguard fund, the All World High Dividend Yield, ticker VHYL. They paid me almost 12 euros, and my total for the month of December 2025 came to 102 euros and 49 cents. This was the second month ever I managed to get triple digits in dividends, so I'm really happy about that. And going forward into the next year, I'm aiming for 100 euros average for every single month. So let's see if we can manage that. As you can see, this performed way better for me than the S&P 500 one. They are up 9% over the last year, and even over the last month up 2%. My holding is up also 10% like the other one. I own 37 shares and so far received 70 euros in dividends from them. Let's finish this video off with some overall stats. The portfolio sits at 30,800 euros at the moment, so that's another milestone reached, and I'm happy I managed to do it by the end of the year. The 30k mark, if we're looking at the true time weighted return, so that's the performance without contributions, we are sitting at 33% in the plus. That's what I like to see. In total, the portfolio paid me 1,264 euros in dividends. So I received my first dividend in November 22, which came to 15 cents. The chart since then kept climbing nicely. So that's what we're at now. And over the last 12 months, the average was 61 euros per month. So quite a lot to do if we want to hit 100 euros a month for the next year. But I think with my 3 higher yielding monthly income ETFs, it's doable. Let's look at accumulated dividends year over year. You can see the gaps are opening nicely every year. So last year we made 417 euros in total, and this year we are already at 731 euros. The first full year was only 100 euros. So yeah, 26 we want to reach 1.2k at least to manage the 100 euros. Here you can really see the progress with the dividends climbing every year. And I love to look at this chart. I could look at this every day. This really keeps me motivated to keep going. Here you can see the average monthly income climbing each year. 23 we had not even 10 euros average, and 1 year later we were sitting at 35 euros, and 2025 61 euros on average, and I want to hit 100 euros for this year. So I'm really motivated to reach that goal. Saw nice increases in dividend income. You can see we increased our dividends 75% compared to 24. So that's a huge increase and I'm happy with that. I'd say we keep investing, keep the portfolio growing, keep the dividends coming. Thank you very much for watching and I see you on the next update.